Yes, Jaden. Come on.
Brian King Joseph filed the lawsuit in California earlier this week, accusing Smith of deliberately grooming him for exploitation.
I was lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
At this point, it feels like every day there's a new bombshell exposing just how dark and depraved Hollywood can be. Now, Empire actor Bryshere Gray is going viral after reports surfaced claiming he was victimized by powerful men in the industry, including shocking allegations involving Will Smith. And as if that wasn't enough, Jaden Smith is now speaking out, seemingly dropping subtle hints that are reigniting long-standing rumors about Will and Jada Smith and their controversial mentorship of young men.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming.
And things get even more disturbing when you start paying closer attention to how Will Smith has treated Jaden over the years. From repeatedly kissing him on the mouth in front of cameras and brushing it off as a joke, to moments that clearly made Jaden uncomfortable, the footage hits very differently now. Every time, Jaden's body language tells a story he never had to put into words.
Baby boy, he's never leaving me ever. Ever. No emancipation for the Smith kid.
Miss Peinlich, come on here.
Come on.
Jaden.
Just want him to feel the affection, you know? Like,
and it's true. I mean, there is a thing where I know you were like, but when
I want to kiss you and just say Just keep a smile. Just keep a smile. Just keep a smile.
Now look, I get it. Some parents show affection like that, and in many cases it can be completely innocent. But when it's being done repeatedly, forcefully, in front of cameras, and the child is clearly uncomfortable, that's where it crosses a line. That's not okay. And let's be honest, if this were Willow and Will was grabbing her and forcing kisses like that on camera, people would absolutely lose their minds. And they should. So why is it suddenly acceptable when it's Jaden, just because he's a boy? What makes this even more unsettling is that this isn't just any father and son. This is Will Smith, a man who's already surrounded by years of disturbing rumors and allegations. In fact, just weeks ago, Will was hit with a lawsuit from a male violinist who claimed Will manipulated him and pressured him into inappropriate behavior. Professional violinist Brian King Joseph alleged in his complaint that Will deliberately groomed and primed him for exploitation after inviting him to join his global based on a true story tour in 2025. According to Joseph, what initially appeared to be a career opportunity quickly took a much darker turn. He described a traumatic series of events that allegedly took place in March 2025 during Will's tour, claiming that he later discovered someone had entered his Las Vegas hotel room and left a disturbing note that read, "Brian, I'll be back. Just us." The message included a drawn heart and was signed, Stone F. Joseph further alleges that a number of disturbing and unexplained items were left in his room. According to the complaint, these included wipes, a beer bottle, a red backpack, an earring, hospital discharge paperwork belonging to an unknown individual, and a bottle of HIV medication with someone else's name on it, none of which Joseph claims belonged to him or were ever explained.
They set 2 chairs in the middle of a dance studio, facing 2 folding chairs in the middle of a dance studio, facing each other, and they're like, "We'll be in a second." I sat with the chair with my back to the door. I didn't know what door he was coming in. And he walked in behind me, and I could feel his energy. And he liked me. He liked me. He was like, "Let's go see a movie." I was like, "Okay."
You guys went to a movie.
I called my dad, and I was like, I got in the car. My dad goes, "How'd it go?" I go, "It went great." He was like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, we're going to the movies." My dad's like, "What?" I go, "We're going to the movies." And he was like, "Want a date?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I don't know. I really didn't ask." Like, I was just needing. And he was like, "What do you mean? Like, what? You and him are going to the movies together?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess." And I was like, "It's at Planet Hollywood." He was like, they have a movie theater there? I was like, Dad, I don't know. Maybe we'll go get lunch there and dinner and then we'll go to the movies? And he was like, oh, buddy. He's trying to f*** you. I was like,
And if this were the first time Will had been accused of something like this, maybe people wouldn't think twice about it. But that's not the case. These kinds of rumors and stories about Will have been circulating for years. Remember when comedian Bryshere Gray claimed that back when he was just starting out in the industry, he received an invitation to audition for a project connected to Will's company? According to Bird, Will invited him to go see a movie, but when he mentioned it to his father, his dad immediately warned him that Will might have had other intentions.
He's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love. And all he has to do is add discipline, and he's going to be all right.
It's like Uncle Will, you know? Who is best to give you advice? And it's Will Smith, and I'm getting so much good advice.
Now fast forward to 2020, when YouTuber Trisha Peace made allegations claiming Will had crossed boundaries with male dancers without their consent. And let me be clear, these are allegations, not proven facts. But at the same time, it's hard not to side-eye the situation when similar accusations keep surfacing around the same person over and over again. And that brings us right back to Bryshere Gray, another young man in the industry who was allegedly deeply affected after being mentored by Will. Bryshere Gray originally started out as a rapper in Philadelphia, performing at music festivals and even opening for major artists like Fabulous and 2 Chainz. So he already had momentum before television ever entered the picture. Then came 2015, the year Bryce truly struck gold. He landed his breakout role as Andre Lyon on Empire, starring alongside Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard. That role changed his life almost overnight. But here's where things start getting strange. That same year, Bryce signed a record deal with Columbia Records, and people began calling him the next young Will Smith. And sure enough, Will himself reportedly stepped in, took Bryce under his wing, and began mentoring him, a move that, looking back now, raises even more questions. Joseph claims he feared that the person who entered his room might come back and potentially harm him. He reported the incident to hotel staff, a local non-emergency police line, and Will Smith's management team. But according to Joseph's complaint, instead of taking it seriously, a member of Will's tour management allegedly shamed him and told him he was being terminated. But it gets even darker. Around this time, rumors began circulating that Bryshere Gray was being preyed on, not just by Will, but allegedly by other older men in the industry as well, including Empire co-creator Lee Daniels. Back in 2017, Bryce and Daniels appeared together on The Breakfast Club, and from the very beginning, the energy felt off. Daniels was giving Bryce these lingering, uncomfortable looks, and once you noticed it, you really couldn't unsee it. What made it even more unsettling was the reaction from viewers. If you go back and read the comments, people were saying the exact same thing. One comment in particular stood out, saying. One comment read, "The way Lee and Bryshere look at each other, you already know. You want to be a star, what are you going to do for me?" Another user wrote, "I'm sorry, but does anyone else feel like Lee Daniels knows this young man better than he should? Why do I feel uneasy watching this?" And then there's the simple but powerful question from fans, "Bryshere, you okay?" Now pay attention to this, that second comment is from 8 years ago. So even back then, long before all the Diddy allegations went mainstream, and before people in the industry started openly calling out these so-called mentorships with young men, fans were already picking up on the red flags. People could sense early on that something about the way these grown men were moving around Bryce just didn't sit right. The discomfort was noticeable, even to the audience. And now, things have taken an even more serious turn. Will Smith's former best friend and assistant has come forward, claiming to finally set the record straight about what Will allegedly did to Bryce. Just listen to this, about Jaden. Do you think there's something off about Will's dynamic with his son? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.